Hey guys, I'm here for my 33 weeks update. Whew, 33 weeks. It has been a good week, a crazy week. You'll hear all about it. Just a lot has been going on. So in the beginning of my 33 weeks, I had lots of movement, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor does the heartbeat and was listening and had trouble getting the heartbeat because Presley was moving so much. So lots of movement. And then, but at the doctor's, I also weighed myself. They always weigh yourself, you know. It's like that moment you're like, should I take off my shoes? I didn't. But I gained 6 pounds in 2 weeks. So I was really concerned about that, you guys. That's a lot, like 6 pounds in 2 weeks, especially for me. But I also told her I was swelling a lot. Like my ankles have been swelling so much. I talked about how swollen my feet and ankles were. And then I talked about my rings in the last video, how my hands were swollen. Well, the doctor thinks I was retaining water and not drinking enough water. So I have upped my water since then, and the swelling has gotten much better. And I weighed myself again, and so I was 166 at the doctor. I always weigh more at the doctor's, but when I weighed myself at home, I was 160. So I think I went down a pound. I think I was 161 at some point. So I think I went down a pound. So a lot of it was water weight, which is good news for me because I am trying to watch my weight, but I'm not going to be too worried. But 6 pounds in 2 weeks is quite a big jump. So I was either hoping I would plateau after that, or it was swelling. So it was mostly swelling. But the doctor said she was not worried about preeclampsia. I guess with a lot of swelling comes preeclampsia. But my blood pressure was actually really low, like abnormally low for me. It was 108 over, I don't remember what it was over because I only remember the first part. But usually I'm 120, and I told her that that was low for me. She looked at all my other ones and they're all 120. So she said that's still in the good range, but that was kind of low. I had only had coffee that morning, so it was probably dehydration. I was waiting in the office for almost 2 hours because they were having computer trouble. So I'm sure it was like a lot of stuff, and I was exhausted and tired. So what else? I wanted to kind of, so I talked to the doctor, we talked about weight, my movements. So I wanted to kind of talk about my clothes and pants and stuff like that, because I feel like I hear a lot of mixed feelings about maternity clothing items. A lot of people can get away with buying like an extra size bigger. I do that in my pajamas because I told you guys in one of my other videos that I've had trouble finding maternity pajamas, and I don't want to spend an arm and a leg. So, but a lot of people just say that they buy a size up. And great for them, but again, I'm heavy chested. So when I buy a size bigger, usually like those flowy tops is what they're talking about, or flowy dresses that just hang, and a very in style. I have a lot of those shirts, but when your breasts pop out more, it makes you look even heavier. So for me, personally, just because I'm heavy chested, the tighter clothes look better on me. I look slimmer in tighter clothes. So I brought a couple items to show you guys. So I have done maternity clothes because it has made me feel better. I feel like I look better, but I've done like very simple stuff like plain t-shirts so that I can pair it with jackets that I have, or cardigans that I have, or flyaways, or something that I do have to dress it up. So you don't need to go crazy, just get a couple staple pieces. But they have that ruching on the side that bundles, and I'll kind of stand and show you. My sweater has it as well, the ruching on the side. So like for me, that makes me look slimmer. If I was to wear a shirt that came out, like I would look ginormous because my boobs would pop it out, plus my belly would pop it out. I would just look a hot mess. It's different when girls are flatter and then all they have is the belly to pop it out, or it just lays flat. That's not something I was blessed with, so I have to dress quite differently during pregnancy. But I got this. This is the Isabel Maternity from Target, and I love it. A lot of their summer stuff's going on sale, so like their tank tops and their t-shirts, go grab them while they're on sale, because you can put a sweater over it, and you can put like a flyaway over it and call it a day and dress it up. And I think that's just great, because we get hot. When we're pregnant, we get hot. Another clothing item. So I hear a lot of girls don't like the band that comes all the way up. I'm the complete opposite. I don't like those low bands. I like the bands that come all the way up. I feel like I need the additional like lift and support. I don't really know why people like the low ones. Maybe they feel like they get more support when it's low. But on me, like, being honest, on me, the low ones, like, they come a little too high to where, like, I still have, like, a pooch underneath, and it's uncomfortable, or it sits on my stomach funny, or they're just not quite low enough, or when it is low enough, it's not high enough in the back, and I feel like I'm just sewing plumber's crack to everybody. So those are my issues. So I personally like the band that comes all the way up, the belly band. But I like the ones that have the low back. So you can see this one has like a crisscross back. So it drops low and it's high in the front. And this is, I believe, the same. Yeah, Isabel Maternity from Target. So love these, live in these. These are just like yoga pants. Same with the jeans I'm wearing. They have the high-waisted band, and then they come down in the back. And I love that. I really do. Now let me get situated all over again. But I just love that way it's low in the back. I like the low in the back. I've talked about this before because it doesn't bunch. A lot of them come too high in the back, and then you get all this bunching, and it looks funny and it feels funny. Genius, whoever made those. Low in the back, high in the front. That is what I like. I've tried those ones where looks like jeans and you have two elastic pieces look like they've sewn on to help stretch. Y'all, no. I personally don't like them, and the button on it hurts. It hurts me. I don't know if it hurts anybody else. They sit funny. I do like them a little more now that I am bigger belly-wise, because I feel like they sit a little lower. But I still just like those. I just feel like I get the most support that way. And if I do, like throughout the day, if I feel like I need more lower support, I just roll the band down, and it's still thick enough to where it's not sitting on me funny. So that is something that I wanted to kind of go over, because I've really, really enjoyed that, and a lot of people have different opinions. So if you're with me on the high bands, or maybe you're having trouble with the low bands, but you thought that was proper, try the high bands. Like, I'm just saying, try it. And if it gets too hot, just roll it down. It's great. So I told you guys I was drinking more water, and I'm eating a lot of ice. My husband, it drives him nuts. Like, for him, you know how people like smack their gum and it drives you nuts? For him, chomping ice drives him nuts. So, sorry babe, but I just like crave the ice. And I remember having that with Aiden too, so it's definitely a pregnancy thing, at least for me. Just ice chips. Like, I just want to bite ice all the time. Okay, so TMI. One of my friends and I were talking, and she was asking me how I was able to, what do they call it? Manscape, I guess. But we're a womanscape. I don't know. But clean up my downstairs area, my lady business. So I thought this was interesting for people. And I wanted to go over it because if you are newly pregnant, I get Brazilian waxes, and I have for almost a year now. I will never go back to shaving. I get razor bumps when I shave. I love the waxing. you got to get through the first couple times. But like my hair grows back lighter and thinner, and it's amazing. It is amazing. I love it. But it hurts so much more when you're pregnant. Oh my gosh. Because you have all of that blood coursing through your body. Sorry. It's my husband. Hello? Hey. Filming my video right now. That's okay. What are you doing? So waxing. So you have all this blood coursing through your body, and I think my doctor said like 40% more blood running through your body while you're pregnant. So, sorry, I keep playing with my hair. Does anybody else do that? Like I feel like when I talk, I use my hands, or I have to play with my hair or do something. I don't know, especially when it's right here. I should have put it up. But I lasted all day like this, so I was like, you can do it. But you have so much blood coursing through your body, and when you start getting waxed with all that blood, it hurts more. I hate to say it, but it does. It hurts more. And I thought it would get better. No, it gets worse every single time I go. So if you do waxing, just prepare for that. It is not anything like that you can't handle, because the very weird thing is I'm growing less hair now that I'm pregnant. So it's easier and like quicker. It's easier in the aspect of there's not as much to do, so it's quicker. But it is more painful. So if you do wax, try and keep with it. I've kept with it. I have 2 more before I deliver, hopefully. I'm having to do like 4 weeks and then a 3-week one, I think. We'll see how it all goes. We'll see how, she might not even let me do that. But, yeah, so that is how I take care of my lady business. I do love it. I just love it so much. So, if you're a waxer, I say stick with it. If you're not, give it a try. Obviously, you probably don't want your first time to be while you're pregnant though. But hey, if you're like really anal about not having hair when you deliver, then give it a go, because it gets really hard. I remember with Aiden trying to I was induced with him, and I was trying to I knew I was going in that night, and I was like with a mirror trying to shave a little. Yeah, that didn't work. So, yeah, just try it out. I like it. But stick with it if you are doing it. Just tough it through. It's once a month. You can do it. And if you're like me, maybe your hair will grow less while you're pregnant, and so that is a little bit of a blessing. Okay, I just went off on that. Halloween costumes. We have Halloween is tomorrow for me right now. I don't know when this video will go up, but for me it's tomorrow. And I am going to be a gumball machine. So I'm so excited about that. I got one of the Isabel Maternity shirts, a white long sleeve one, on sale at Target. And I bought a bunch of those puff pom-pom balls, and I glued them all right here. And I have a red beret that I got at Target, and I got a red skirt from Goodwill, just all red skirt. So I'm going to be a gumball machine. And then for my husband, I got him a shirt from Goodwill, long sleeve white. I bought some gray paint, and I had a Sharpie. So I just painted a circle on his shirt and wrote 25 cents, so he's the quarter. So I think that was, I got it on Pinterest, of course. Pinterest has everything great. So excited for that. That is so much fun. So I'm excited to wear that and us to have a pregnancy Halloween costume. I think that's awesome. I love when girls paint their bellies as well. So that's pretty cool. So maybe, I couldn't find a good belly painting one, so maybe one of you can. I think that's pretty awesome. Okay, so my energy. So in the beginning of 33 weeks, in the beginning of the week, it was like I had all this extra energy. And you guys, before I took Adderall, I have ADD, ADHD, you name it, I probably got it. But I have trouble starting tasks and finishing them, or even getting started on them. So it's night and day. It really helps me when I have Adderall. But obviously when I got pregnant, I stopped taking my Adderall, and it was really hard to get stuff done around the house. It still is, and my husband understands. He's the one who mentioned it to me because I didn't even think about it. He was like, well, babe, like, you don't have your medicine. It's got to be 10 times harder. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. Yeah, I couldn't get anything done for the longest time. So I still struggle, but like I started making morning lists. So part of my morning routine is I get my husband and my son out the door, and I drive my son to school, and then I come home and I make myself coffee and breakfast, or tea and breakfast, or whatever I'm doing. And then I sat down and I made a to-do list for that day of what I wanted to accomplish by the minute. So, or half an hour. So like I said, I'd be done with breakfast at like 9. I'd go to the grocery store at 9:30. I'd be back from the grocery store at 10:30, like that kind of a system. It has helped a lot. My daily schedule changes every single day. So that's just always crazy, but it's always changing, and I can't have the same kind of schedule every day. So I'm still struggling to keep up with the house and get things done and get things accomplished. But making a list in the morning has helped motivate me. And the couple of days I've done it, I feel like I have more energy, almost because I have a goal. But like today, I came home from working, and my son and I did pumpkins, which he just carved his first pumpkin all by himself, and it looks great. He did a great job. So, but after I did that and I made dinner, I'm like, ugh, I still gotta do laundry. Like, there's so much to do, and you just don't want to. You just want to sit down. So I have to understand, like, some things can wait. Like, there was chopping all this fruit I wanted to get done because I have a tennis playoff tomorrow, and I was going to bring the fruit I have in the fridge. Well, you know what? I'm about to just say, sorry, Charlie, I'll cut all the fruit tomorrow. Our family will eat it, and I'm just going to go buy something tomorrow on the way to the game. Because that's just kind of, I have to choose my battles, I guess. So, you don't want to wear yourself out too much to where you are causing issues in your pregnancy. So, speaking of that, I told you I had a really good week, lots of movement. Well, come Saturday, so Friday I had lots of movement, it was great. Come Saturday, barely any movement. It was like little flutters. And sometimes the flutters are hard to tell. Like, is it your stomach? Is it a kick? What's going on? So, I was a little worried. I sat down, I got her moving a little bit, but nothing big. And these days, at 33 weeks, I am having big movements, like really big movements, like boom, and like woo, like all this kinds of stuff. To where my husband's just like, whoa. So big movements. So when you have little ones and days like that, it makes you nervous. Well, Saturday I had, I had a tennis match. Then we got rained out, so we had to wait a little bit. Ran home, got dressed. My husband gave me 7 minutes to get ready, and then we ran to a friend's house because they had the like hosted a little party for the game, the Georgia game. So it was like go, 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 and we were supposed to go to a Halloween party that night. And after we left the party to head to the Halloween party, I said, babe, I feel like I need a rest. Like, I haven't felt her that much. I'm tired. I think I overdid it today. So we went back home. I rested a little, and I felt her moving. But again, it still wasn't huge. But I felt her, so I felt better. And then Sunday, I had another tennis match because I'm in playoffs. So Sunday, I'm playing again. It wasn't very long, but it was like 30 degrees outside, and the wind was like 40 miles per hour. Ridiculous. And I'm just like out there like this, and I'm sure she doesn't want to move because it's so cold. Like, who wants to move in the cold? So I was like, all right, I left my match early. Like, I usually like to watch everybody play, but I left early. I said I'm gonna go rest because I don't want to do anything to jeopardize anything. So I'm definitely taking the precautions that I need. So I called my mom and I was like, Mom, you know, the last 2 days I really haven't felt her move. Big movements. I said I feel little things. She goes, well, at least you're feeling her. My mom didn't sound too like, you're fine kind of situation. She sounded a little nervous, and that made me nervous because my mom's not that type of person. So I was nervous, and she says, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not worried. So I had hot chocolate at the tennis match. I left, I went to my mom's, and I downed some orange juice because she said that would help. So I felt a little movement at her house. I decided to come home and take a bath and relax. So orange juice and bath. That works, because I was in the bath and all of a sudden it's like boom, and it was like a tidal wave in my bathtub. Not really, it was like, but you had a little, like, you know, those little drops, and like you see the little ripples, that's what they're called, in the bathtub. So that made me feel so much better. And then that whole night, so yesterday night, she was just like boom, 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 just moving all over the place, moving this morning, and I feel so much better. And like my husband the whole time was like, babe, you're worried, so you're stressing yourself out, and that's not making it better. He's probably right, but at the same time I'm like, I don't want it to be my fault. And I'm sure other moms feel that way and stuff like that happens. Like, you don't want it to be you that did something wrong. And he goes, well, if something like that happens, it's not your fault. And I said, no, but if I didn't go to the doctor when I could have, that is my fault. Like, if I didn't take it seriously, that would be my fault. So he was like, okay, well. So I tell you, I don't over worry. He thinks I over worry, but I think I worry just enough. I try not to read certain things, and I told you guys that, like, I don't really read up on things, because if I do, I know it'll get in my mind. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope so. Like, I read, I was watching this YouTuber, and she was talking about how she had itchy feet. And in the comments, I was reading what people are saying, and in the comments, someone was like, oh my gosh, you need to talk to your doctor, it's this, this, and this. So then when my foot was itching, I was like, oh no. But it's almost like when you see a spider, you're just like, or ants, like you just start itching all over, like it gets in your mind. So I try really hard not to let stuff get in my mind, so I don't read too much on things. Just personally, that's what I do for my sanity. So yeah, that was scary this weekend. That really did scare me, made me nervous. Sorry, it's like a hot flash. I wasn't so nervous to call the on-call doctor. But I was that if Sunday night I still felt only little stuff, I was going to call Monday morning. But big stuff happened, so I was good, and we are good. And they say if you feel hurt, you're fine. I'm just sure you go through times where you don't feel as much movement, and my mom says she could be dropping, and you won't feel as much then. So mommy's know best. And I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I said, no matter what, like, no matter how old you get, there's some things that you just need your mom for, or you just need that one person for. There's always one person that you have. And I go to my husband about a lot of stuff, but there's still some things where I'm just like, I just want my mommy. So I was asking her, because I said she lives out of state, and I said, is your mom going to be there, going to head up to you before delivery? And she said, yeah, she's going to come a little early and stay with her husband's family. So I was like, yeah, sometimes you need your mom to make you feel better. She goes, oh yeah, she'll make me feel so much better. So husbands are great. My husband's going to be the only one in the delivery room unless I get a photographer. I'm still thinking about that. But I had my mom in the room with Aiden, and this time, like, my whole situation is different. I just feel like I just need Patrick, and I just want Patrick. So the situation has changed. It's crazy, but yeah, I still want my mom there, just not in the room. So okay, so scary time. I talked about my Adderall. I'm obviously not taking it. I don't know if I'll go back on it. We'll see. We'll see. I'm struggling, so I feel like for my own sanity, I need to, but I hate to go on stuff like that. Okay, so I love my husband. I brag on my husband all the time, but sometimes he drives me nuts. And one of the instances was pumpkin patch. He could not, for the love of him, understand why I wanted to go to a pumpkin patch. He understood taking my son, but I wanted to do it as a family. Sorry. I wanted to do it as a family, and I wanted to go like to a really fun one with activities and stuff to do. He didn't see the big deal. He goes like, my family didn't do that. And I said, well, my family did, like every year. Like a pumpkin patch is something I did every year, and I love doing it. So we didn't get in a fight, but like I sat there and I was like, I don't care. You're going to go at some point. I was like, we don't have to do the whole ride thing, because I was going to take my son to do the whole ride thing. I said, him and I will go by ourselves. Like, I was at that point where I was like, it's for his memories. You have to figure it out. Like, get involved. Like, I got in his face. Not in an aggressive or mean way, but I laid it down and I said, and when she comes, we're going to be doing the same thing. So you better believe next year we're going to a pumpkin patch and we're going to a real one. So he just doesn't understand. It's not something guys probably want to do. Does your husband or significant other complain about that stuff? If you're watching and they complain about something, or there's something they complain about, let me know in the comments, because I know I'm not alone on this. But like, you see all these pictures of people and you're like, well, they look like they love going. Like, no, my husband could smile for a picture too, but I know a lot of these women drag their significant others there, so I can't be the only one. But, no, he didn't end up complaining after I explained it to him, after I said, hey, sorry, she's moving. See, it makes me feel so much better. And I have the hiccups. But she said, look at me, I'm a hot mess. After I explained it to him, I said, it's memories for Aiden, not for us. Even though I really like it too. Like, secretly, like, I love it. But it is memories for Aiden, and it's his childhood. And I said, and sometimes you just gotta suck it up and not be selfish and do things for other people. And he can be selfish. All guys can. I know all guys can. But he's not usually. But sometimes when he is, I just flat out say, like, you're being selfish. I said, we did what you wanted to do that whole weekend. This is the only thing I wanted to do. You should have made it happen. That's a rant. He's already heard it all too. So I might have to edit this out. Oh, no, he'll live. He'll be fine. But being honest, like, my life's not perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. And I know other husbands complain, but he complained about the pumpkin patch. So I set it down, and then we ended up going to one, and he was a great trooper, and Aiden took his sweet time trying to find the perfect pumpkin. Like, they have the scratches on the back. He's trying to find one without those scratches. I'm like, buddy, it's the back of the pumpkin. No one's going to care. So Patrick was very patient. So I was very grateful that he changed his attitude about things. Sorry, I have notes on my phone too, so I'm going to grab that. Okay, so everyone keeps telling me it's going to be easier having an older sibling, that Aiden's going to be able to help so much, and he will. He'll be such a great helper, such a great brother, big brother. But it does come with its own different challenges. When you have kids that are close in age, they can play together, they don't always get along, but they can coexist easier, I guess. My brother's 10 years older than me, and Aiden's going to be 8 years older than Presley. So I almost grew up an only child. I have 2 way older sisters as well. So there's going to be times where he's going to reach 13 and he's not going to want anything to do with her. So it's going to have its own challenges. And I know kids close in age might have that same challenge. But I also have to worry about him feeling left out because 8 years by himself. So it's going to have its own challenges. But everyone's just like, it's going to be so much easier. And I am concerned. I'm like, I don't want him to feel left out. I know that there's going to be bumps along the way. It's not going to be perfect. I think it's going to have its own challenges. So I will let you guys know how that goes when Presley gets here. Okay, so people worry about how a baby will change their relationship. And I got asked if I think that Presley would change Patrick and my relationship. And honestly, I do not think so, because we've already gone through the hardest part. And I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but Patrick is Aiden's stepdad, not his biological father. So every other weekend, Aiden goes to his dad's, and that's probably the hardest thing that we have had to overcome, is co-parenting. And Patrick having that bond with Aiden, he treats him just like it's his own child. So, and I absolutely adore that and love that, and it's one of the reasons why I married him. But Patrick's been in Aiden's life since Aiden was 1. But Aiden's dad's involved as well, so that makes things a little harder per se. But we're starting to get the hang of co-parenting, so it's going a lot better these days. But I feel like that strained our relationship more than our own child together will, if that makes sense. That is probably a harder situation to coexist in. And yeah, it has its own challenges, but Aiden sees Patrick as a father figure, and Patrick sees Aiden as a child, like his own child. So I just think this is just going to make it 10 times better. And I think Patrick having his own biological child will humble him a little more with Aiden and help Aiden and him bond even more than they have up to this point. So I just think for us personally, it's going to make our relationship stronger. One thing that I think everybody has to worry about is taking time and creating time to just be you two together, and just you two do things and make time for your spouse. So that is something definitely to consider. But personally, I think it's going to make us stronger. And I think as long as you communicate and you make time for each other, and it's not all about the kids, then you'll be fine. It's really about making time for each other. So one item I did want to talk about that's kind of not baby related but child related is my son. I mentioned he goes to his dad's every other weekend. We got him the Gizmo watch, and this watch, I monitor an app on my phone. I add who he can talk to, text to, and who he communicates with, and it has a GPS embedded in it. So I think that's just so awesome, and that is great for when his dad wants to talk to him. He doesn't have to go through me, and I don't have to go through his dad to call Aiden when he's there at every other weekend. So, and then I just feel so much comfortable with the GPS. So, and I monitor like who he can communicate with. It's awesome. If you have an older child, or you have the co-parenting like we do, where they go to their dads or moms, check out the Gizmo. It has really eased up everything and made it so much better for us. So that is it for 33 weeks. This is going to be a long one. Sorry. But there was a lot to talk about. And I'm going to go ahead and show my bump now. But until next time, I'm planning on doing the ugly truth about birth, and what to expect for delivery videos. So keep a lookout for those. Bye, guys.